Hello and welcome back to the second part of this Wars Going On episode. As you can see behind me, we have the new Abyss 1 dragon, and he is a big, beefy monster.
He's on steroids. What are you talking about?
He's definitely showing examples of roid rage, definitely. Honestly, this guy has skills coming out of everywhere. He's got pages and pages of skills, and we're going to talk through them, and then we're going to talk about show you the map, have a look at the teams that are going to that are currently being used, and what we think this means for the game, and what potential heroes you might be able to use. Because if you had a test server roster. There's stuff that's making progress, but we'll see what's going on. So, first up, a thing called the Ancient Bloodline. So we've previously the Drake was we had Rat and Bar, then we went into this other one called Phrase Belial, and now the Abyss ones are called Sauryan Grimmscale. So Sauryan, surging with the ancient power of the Ancient Bloodline. And it says, use physical attacks in this form, as magic damage will only deal 10 damage. And then Nightmare's Revenge, he swaps modes, and then his physical attack, use magic attacks, as physical attacks will only deal 10 damage. Strong indicator, you either want heroes who can deal both damage types, or you're looking for heroes who can not worry about particular damage types, so probably true damage are going to be a big indicator there. And it's kind of obvious. You can see here, like when he changes modes, he's purple. I'm assuming that's the magic mode, and the gold one will be the physical mode.
Actually, it's the other way around.
Is it?
I was seeing things correctly, because in the first where he pops down, he's actually in his purple mode,
right?
And so if you put somebody like Wukong down, you actually see damage. But if you play somebody like Hex, you don't see any damage. So you have to wait to bring your magic damage dealers to that second phase.
Right. So, okay.
There's so many other things that you have to keep track of that is unreal what's going on here.
Yeah, it's punishing. So each time a hero is defeated or retreated, the redeployment time is increased by 30 seconds. So all of you who love cycling Laurel in and out, sorry, that's not going to work anymore.
No, they definitely said enough of this Laurel, Laya, Bolka, whatever else you want to bring in type strat. They just pretty much they pretty much said this is it. This is you have to really put a comp together to sustain this fight, because that's essentially what it's going to entail. It's going to be a sustain. Now, I would say that one strategy that I saw people trying to see if they could make work would be because of how long it takes for each one of the phases to cycle, to bring back like physical damage dealers, right? And then bring them back in. I think initially might work, but like you said, it keeps adding on 30 seconds. You might want to bring in Volca to try to reduce the time, but you're going to take longer to eventually try to bring everybody down. So
yeah,
it might work in the first couple of stages, but that second shield, and I can't imagine what the third shield looks like, but that second shield is going to be hard to break.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll I'm still playing around with strats with my account. I haven't even. I don't want to jump in the test server yet. I want to first try with my account here in Forerunners, and then I'll jump to the test server because there are more heroes there. But just for my account, it's getting challenging to get to that second chest right now. So, yeah. So they definitely had something in mind when they put this restriction in.
Definitely. Okay. So next up, channels ultimate power in the current form, dealing damage to all targets on the mass field every 4 seconds. So you know how previously Furious dropped the meteor on you and it kind of reduced you to about half health. This is massive damage. If you do not have AoE damage protection or Carnelian with a ball on everybody, you're gonna suffer. I had like half of my team wiped within seconds of him doing this, and it's every 4 seconds that he's doing this craziness.
Yeah, so we're seeing Carnelian strats trying to be deployed. First, he's going to be a staple for this, at least from what we've seen in the leaderboards. There are people trying to combat that this way, and some other think that alien burst healing might actually be a way to try to contend with this as well. So we're seeing her in this content being
And
deployed
also,
again.
there is apparently because of her her damage reduction buffs are different to Fercy, so you can actually stack the two of them up to try and add that damage reduction across the board for the two of them to try and improve the survivability of your teams. I did try and run Tallulah, but she just got wiped out really, really quickly because I thought that her butterflies would help, but as I say, I didn't have the right build on her. Next up is a kind of a focusing down of the strongest HP unit. So you're going to want to have a beefy unit on the pitch who can take these hits, and you're going to possibly want to keep them somewhere where they can be in range of all of your healers, so that they're going to be able to keep going.
This is not the in range, but not next to it, right? Is this
Yeah,
the one that him out? This is the one that has the possibility to wipe him out completely, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that meteorite that comes in, and
Mm.
it strictly goes for the defender. And then if you don't time things correctly,
Yeah, it's getting GG. This is kind of they call it transcendence to make it sound more special, but it's pretty much the same as we're used to seeing. That when he goes through the phase cycling, his damage increases, and this it says also increases his penetration, which might be a little bit different previously, but definitely he's going to be doing much more damage to you as he goes on. Dragon Shield, same and same. Again, so they put up the shield. If you don't break the shield, it will kill you instantly.
the animation is kind of cool. So instead of the big breath that he does,
Mm.
now it's like these lightning things that just pop down and you just sap you out of the map.
So a bit like
Yeah,
Ajax's
exactly.
lightning.
Hmm.
Okay, so yeah, that's that one. Drake's Bellow, single full screen attack that deals true damage based on the target's current HP percentage and applies burning and corrosion. Cleanse is.
Not
I know it can't be cleansed.
dispellable.
It can't be cleansed.
It
That's it.
cannot be cleansed too. It's
Yeah.
like, oh man.
Yeah. It's really, really evil. Everything you can think, oh, yeah, well, I'll bring in this to counter it. It's like, no. I think units with Sanctity are going to be useful here. If you can get Honora in and keep her alive, I think she'll be good in the magic phases. And then there is just pure chaos. So we have the Drake's Bellow. Then we have the Storm Surge, which is Infernal Lightning, strikes each target at one time with charged particles, dealing damage while reducing the healing received, inflicting stun. And then, depending on where it is, it either unleashes one lightning surge on each target. The charged particles after these surge ends, continuously unleash multiple charged particles that deal additional damage and reduce the healing. This stage just gets harder and harder and harder the longer you are into it.
Yeah, and then the nightmare heroes already don't heal as well in this, so it's like, are you countering the nightmare heroes here? No, you're
Yeah.
still gonna want to use them, but it's just that it's gonna be harder to keep them alive.
Yeah, I have. So we'll jump over to the leaderboard in a minute, and the nightmares are still around. And next up, a Worm's Wrath. So it unleashes waves of purple flames from the ground, dealing multiple stage damage to all targets. First of all, absorbs the ground flames to summon a powerful fireball from the sky. Annihilate targets the hero with the highest HP on the battlefield and deals massive damage one time. If no other units are adjacent to the target, all damage concentrated on the target, resulting in an instant death. So you have the option of putting a unit out on its own to take the hit, or you pull them in close and spread the damage over multiple units, but you risk more units dying as a result.
Yeah, I encountered that. So yeah, we're gonna have to figure out a way to contend with this. It's like, do they want us to bring two tanks into this and cycle them out? What the hell? It's a lot of trying to put this puzzle together right now.
Yeah. I mean, we'll talk about the chess and we'll talk about the rewards in a moment once we've gone through the skills, but there is, and the leaderboard is not going to look impressive. But remember, this came out on Friday, and people
Mhm.
are still sort of understanding it, starting to play with it. Scores have definitely improved since it's come out, but it's people starting to understand the mechanics. I think I'm going to put in a request to the customer service team that they increase the number of gear sets, saved sets we have, because if this is going to require whole new sets for everybody.
Definitely. Yes, I noticed because now, so if you're gonna want to put double keys in here, I don't blame you for it because the chests are really good.
Yeah,
But if you, at least for the meantime, while you're learning this and you want to do four and then come back to this to do the second try, you're gonna have to change gears all over again because most of my heroes for four have two critical damage pieces because I can get to the attack with the other pieces. But for this, you're gonna need two attack percent, or depending on the gear that you have on the left hand side, or you're gonna want to go full attack percentage. So
yeah,
we're gonna need, different, what, 10 different, up to 10 different presets just for this
definitely. Yeah, because I'm kind of
because
like I've
your healers need specialized builds as well.
yeah. But finishing up on the skills, nearly there. Only two more skills to go on this monster. So meteoric deluge. So the targets unit with the highest max HP on the battlefield and launches multiple meteors at them. Each meteor hits the ground, it deals P damage to the target and nearby units, inflicting burning corrosion. When triggering also triggers a full screen shockwave that deals P damage and applies debuffs. Burning corrosion does continuous damage and to units within range, significantly reducing their healing received. Fun, fun. And finally, the Seismic Slam. This launches a multi-strike full screen attack with 3 ground slams generating shockwaves. The ground slams deal high damage to the ground units, while shockwaves deal relatively low damage to platform units. Wow, awful lot of skills to
Lot.
get through.
Did we bypass the skill with the stun because there's
No,
something
that's the
that
first one.
that was the first one. So
Yeah.
that's what there is a
Uh,
skill here that applies a stun. So you want to make sure with the timings, and especially when you release your ultimates, that your ultimates are not unleashed during this specific phase. Because if your heroes become stunned, you're wasting that damage.
yeah.
So that's another little piece to the puzzle that we have to contend with here.
Yeah. Storm Surge, it does stuns.
Yep. So you're gonna see that very early on, when you see the stun. So you want to make sure your heroes are not during their ultimate. So you want to set up previously to that whatever you need to set up. The only thing that I'm worried about here is with how precise the timings are going to be, is that 3.5 speed can throw things off sometimes, and there's a lot of variability. Is how this is going to require us. Are we going to be able to auto run this dependably, or are we going to have to manually do it every single day in the meantime because of the timings?
I mean, the rewards are good, and I'll just start going through the correct
Yeah, yeah.
rewards. So
Hmm.
look, so every chest, even the lowest chest at 5 grand, has an opportunity to get soul stones, which is good. Demon soldiers, mythic exclusive, sorry, random mythic gear. Um, you've got legendary soul stones, ancient soul stones. Sorry, ancient summons, legendary summons, hammers, everybody's favorite 5-star psychic powers, skill
Yep.
crystals. I mean, and then it's kind of like back into the normal stuff. And each
Right.
chest you get 3 of those. So yeah, that's just the base chest, which is pretty much on par with the level for the max chest on Nightmare 4. And then they start throwing in some artifacts, essence shards, which is really good. More materials and the same stuff. 3. That's, epic chest gives you just 7 7 essence opposed to 6. 4 gives you 8, and more materials. Chance for materials starts to throw in the refining crystals, and the top
When did
chest
the when did the Demon Soldier chest come into play, or is that at the
from the
first
first
one?
one, straight
Or
away.
the from so okay. Straight away. And then we have the ancient is it Mythic Gear, exclusive Mythic Gear and the other one?
No, it's just random mythic here.
It's just random Mythic Gear. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
random mythic gear, and the top one is you get the chance to get shards
They
for
start
refining
getting
crystals.
the refining
and
crystals,
10
yeah.
and 10 artifacts essences. And I mean that's really good because 3 of those, and you've got another level on one of your exclusive artifacts, and you definitely want to be farming those as much as possible. It's normally my top pick from my Semra boxes, so it's certainly something I'll be looking forward to getting.
Oh, typically in our guild, right, 2 attacks brings down 4. So it's severely damn. With this one, it's gonna take a little bit more, I think, right?
Yeah, so
Because
far, um, we're not doing amazingly so far. I've told
oh no,
most of the
we're
guild
still
not to
learning
kind of
that.
play test it, practice, but don't
Mhm.
really push it. Yeah, the best we've got so far is someone getting 11,400, which is just below the second chest.
Right.
Um,
Eh,
on a global level, so bear in mind this has been out the best part of 2 days. The top score is 24,000, and that is a heavily awakened Solkadens, a heavily awakened Furcy, an A1 Dao-Chan, A3 Hex, Carnelian Rygar awakened, A3, A3 Kigiri, A5 Sun Wukong, A5 Volker, and A5 Eloin. So, and all of those units will be on the pitch because it's a 10 unit deployment. It's not an 8 unit deployment like Nightmare 4. It's 10 unit deployment. They've now obviously understand that they've got the code for that. They can deal with the overhead, and they're letting people deploy all teams.
it's just trying to keep them all alive and then
Yeah.
trying to contend with everything that is coming at you, right? Because it doesn't feel like you're getting a breather. Because either you're getting sapped with the lightning or then the meteor comes right away. It's like so it's trying to keep, and then you're trying like, oh, when is the stun coming? But at the same time, I have the to prepare for it. I'm wondering if, like I was telling you, that the whole timing thing, if they are making this, so if you're in a rush, you just do 3 and 4, collect your chest, call it a day. But if you have time to spend to try to get the better chest, then you come in here and you try to push it as far as you can, right?
Yeah.
Um, the fact that we're already getting to 24 means to me that we'll eventually there'll be some type of mechanic that everybody will put where we can get to that 60, right, and maintain it. But it's just is whether it's going to be auto friendly unless there's something coming down the artifacts are going to make this easy.
Yeah. I mean, I've said it to a few people, but I think it's going to be interesting that Falsia could be a really interesting unit to use in this map because she can deal true damage. She deals uh, physical damage to deal with the physical stage. She deals magic damage to deal with the magic stage, and she can deal true damage as well with her ultimate. And she's got a shield, so that's going to improve her survivability overall. So I think she's got some potential in this. The only thing is she's a fighter and therefore slightly squishy, so you're going to have to where you place her is going to be interesting. And most of her thing comes to the fact she specialized attack speed, so you're generally building her for more speed rather than anything else. So
Yeah, when I was first looking at the leaderboard here, I was surprised that there's still a large dependency. It's still either Inferno, Piercer, Nightmare. So unless you scroll down a little, I'm not. The Arbiters are not having a fun time playing here yet. Yet there's some people that
there's
are, I
one.
imagine, are
There's
going to get in.
oh look, an A4 lady Alex. So
Yeah, 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 yeah,
with a maxed out artifact.
yeah, 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 yeah. That doesn't. That, but it's like, man. So yeah, so there comes the magic and true damage coming into play there.
Yeah.
We're still seeing the nightmare heroes there for physical damage.
I mean, even
Uh,
Sorkadence does a bit of true damage as well. So
yeah, yeah.
you got, yeah, Lord Phineas in there. So obviously trying to bring down that damage, the incoming damage from the boss.
I mean, I'm looking at the teams here, and these are when we're talking about Slay, Infinity, WOTF. These are high level guilds. I mean, these are the top of the guild. So I mean, it's like this. Just I mean, yes, you said it, 2 days. But, the fact that only a couple have reached that 20,000 it's just it's a maniacal boss, man. It's like they
Yeah.
just threw this as like it wasn't like a baby step. It was like, here is 4 and here good luck, big
Yeah.
step. It's like climbing a mountain or hill.
I mean, this is not a good team to do it. But I'm just gonna
Oh no,
start
we're
this off
playing
on a.
around still.
I'm yeah. This is my Nightmare 4 team because that's the one it defaults to. But if we just jump in, just to see the sort of platforms where things go, it's a very different layout here. So you've got your ground tiles, so you got your platform tiles there. You've got more opportunity to have platformed units in front here. So you've got an opportunity for like a Dao Chan in the middle here to provide a bit more protection to your units, your ground units. Uh, you can get right up in the face with the fighters, and that might be a good thing. That might be a bad thing. And but there is a lot more units, space tiles available overall for placing down units, both in terms of platform units and in terms of ground units, so you can get everything rolling nicely. And that was like the blue wave there. And
Yeah,
yeah,
that was
that's just
the initial.
one first hit. Yeah. And it's,
And then, yeah, this keeps going on. Eventually, we're gonna come in with the stuns phase. There's
yeah,
that
there's the
slam,
stun.
which that's
And,
the wave.
yeah.
Yeah, and
So you
see right
definitely
away.
need AoE damage reduction to cope with all of this craziness.
Yep.
5 blood. Yeah, I'm doing really well. Anyway, so
Yep.
that is just sort of a the chaos that is this map. That team would breeze Nightmare 4, and it's not even batting an eyelid. But they're just getting wiped out really, really quickly.
And so here in the initial phase, let's go through it again. Then just show
Yeah.
people exactly how the magic and I don't know if your heroes are built, but try plopping a physical damage dealer and then try plopping a magic damage dealer,
Let me
and
just
put a
put some
healer
like
to make sure.
proper defense. Let me put some proper defense gear on them and gear up
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
first. Gear up firstly because that will give me a bit more survivability overall.
Because you're going to be able to tell right away which phase you're in if you're not sure, if you can't go by the colors in terms of what the heroes are doing. And so it's some of your heroes are not going to be doing anything at that time, but you got to keep them alive if you decide to leave them there. Spacing is going to be another critical thing because your tank is going to be taking the meteor hits, and then he's also going to be taking that lightning hit, right? Which
Yeah.
does adjacent damage to the units. So you can either have them tank it all, or whatever units you're planning on placing by him, they're going to have to be able to share that damage. So the fighters, you're going to need to build with HP if you decide to do that. So that was one of my first complications right now. Is just trying to decide how much damage I want to get Torador to take. But if I make him the sole absorber of all damage coming at him, whereas the meteorite or that special move that he does, where that it's gonna get continuous damage, he does not. Even with my best tank gear, he does not make it past that second meteorite shower. So yeah, it's
Pull in here. Um, this should at least give me some vagrancy of survivability, at least in the short term. But just try and move it forwards.
yeah, just make it to the switch. So I know it takes a while, but it's one of those things. That's my favorite spot for Percy right now, but I'm just still toying around with the deployments. I'm, I'm toying around with either bringing Alien or Elowen in because Elowen has the wooden elf and she gives the rage boost. It's just like so many things.
Well, Percy instantly makes a difference on survivability overall.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, really struggling to survive, really struggling to heal up. This is punishing as hell.
You can see all the damage is physical. The
Yeah,
magic is not going to do anything.
there's the blast.
There comes that meteor.
Yeah,
Jesus. All right. So here we go.
not going to make it.
That's fine. Just show that the lightning and bye
Zap.
bye.
Oh, that's cool. That's really pretty.
Yeah, it is. Not when you run this over, but he has a menacing little tickle there.
Yeah,
Uh yeah, this wasn't a baby step, man. It was like it's a complete new boss.
yeah.
You think it's Great Chasm, but no, this is a complete new boss, man.
No, I mean it's. I mean, people have been saying there's no end game content. There's no end game content. You got it. You asked for it. You got it.
That's right. So for those of you that wanted endgame content, they're giving it to you for you to spend 3 to 4 hours trying to optimize the thing with the rosters that we have right now.
Yeah, I think tomorrow morning I start drafting the email to customer service saying I need more gear sets presets to save because I can't do Abyss 1 with the 50 I've got.
Yeah, that's gonna be yeah. That's one piece of the notes that I'm gonna make regarding this as to what else, what we're gonna need for uh the future of it. In terms of being over tuned, I guess is the word, right? That we're gonna have to apply for this. It's like it's too early to tell. It's it's definitely a challenge. We're
Yeah,
gonna have to see what essentially they're thinking about it. With the evolution of the game, if there's gonna be an abyss too, it's like, I wonder how that would, what changes it would be to that. But this is like next level. This this content feels like it's a year down the pipeline in
th-
terms of
th- this
the
this is Marvel Strike Force Red Star Heroes type chaos.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that doesn't come into here because I quit Marvel Strike Force because of that, the Red Stars,
Yeah,
because
but
of
I mean,
Sai coming.
it is that sort of you need
Oh,
that power level in order to breeze this because it is.
but I hope that we can do that with gears and artifacts. I'm just hoping that we don't need to bring the next dimension of hero evolution to do this, right? Because we already have awakenings and yeah, and
Yeah,
some of these heroes overperform when they're fully awakened, but wonder how many people in global server are going to say, "Whoa, I can't even get to fit 12. This is overtuned."
yeah, I can imagine that a lot are going to feel that way. I mean, you need time to sit down and think about this. I've been pretty busy the last couple of days, and that was like taking my Nightmare 4 team straight into Abyss, and you saw what happened. It
Yeah,
You will just get flattened. You can't do cheesing people in and out. You can't have um, cycle Nightmare units round in order to boost attack speed and then not worry about them. You've got to bring a full combat team. You need multiple healers. You need multiple forms of damage reduction. It's a really complex battle. Dao Chan, if you've got her A1, is going to be superb because she's got that big healing bubble she can put over all of those melee units on one of those sticky out bits. Um, that's going to be really good. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of this and that and backwards and forwards, and we will get there. But right now, everyone's kind of like trying stuff. So I'll speak to Lewis and see if we can get him to get a video, either to me or to Sebastian, and we'll get it up on get it up on our channels, showing you what he did to get 24,000, and we'll keep in touch with him, see if we can get more out of him.
yeah. I imagine that the stack accounts are going to have an easier time. Now, listen, with my free to play account, and that is in terms of a hero awakening, it's not like evolved like my global account is, a server account is, but at least to see if I can get to 12,000 right now would be an excellent goal to reach, given the rewards, right? Because it's a
Definitely.
lot better than 3. But yeah, it's like just taking the time right now to try to put a competent team together to get there. It's the challenge. And then as we keep track of the reward that we get right now from one chest, right? Because not everybody's going to be able to hit this. Not in our guild anyway. Not
No.
everybody's going to be able to. And even if all 30 of us are able to get to 5,000, I don't think that's enough to seriously injure him. So this is going to be definitely a work of progress. And then the top guilds, I imagine that right now they're trying to coordinate. It's like here, money, so maybe you guys can get there as well, so we can do the double chest. But um, be patient with the maxers are going to try to do everything they can to get the double chest as soon as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
But for us, it's definitely going to be one of those where everybody's going to have to learn together to try to get to this. Uh, to get to the double chest.
Yeah, I mean, if you getting to seriously injured is going to be the big thing, the opportunity to take him out. Um, yeah, it does say double rewards if you get both. There we go. I knew there was a way. But yeah, that's a nice visual representation of what you the minuscule increases as you go up the chest, but they're definitely going to be nice to get as you go up. Um, they have been trying to put more demon soldiers into the Nightmare 3 and 4 as part of this patch. I've had 2 drops of soldiers from this one. Both times it said demon captain shards, and it hasn't been a demon captain, which is very frustrating because my more could really do with some more shards. But yeah, we will keep plugging on, keep hoping for more boards, and this is going to be a project. It's going to take some time to dedicate to it, but it's going to require you to rebuild all of your heroes to compensate for the absolute chaos of that damage.
Yeah, so I could have made an introduction video on him, but I left it for this, and then I'm gonna be a little bit more patient. I'm gonna try to see if I can push with my account for 12, and then I'm gonna see what I can do in the test server just to give an idea of people of the type of heroes that might be working for this. I know that you have a inclination on Falsha, so I'll give her a try. But maybe they're just setting the stage up to bring those limited hero backs because you mentioned Anora, Falsha comes into play. So maybe we start seeing him. We start seeing them come back soon. Uh, in terms of
Maybe. I
limited.
mean, we've raised it. Fastidious has raised it.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's definitely a topic of interest amongst the community. But yeah, we'll have to see what comes of it.
Yep. So very interesting boss. I will say that I'm gonna reserve my evaluation of whether it's overtuned till later. It's fun. It's a new puzzle. That's the way I'm seeing about this, right? It's just that I know that some people that are going to be in a rush to min-max it, they're going to probably be the loudest critics of this. But right now, I'm content with it to try to see if we can figure out the challenge as it stands right now. And then maybe as the developers evaluate what we're doing with team compositions and how much gear it takes, how many awakenings it takes, maybe they start adjusting a little bit. And then as the heroes in the game evolves a little bit more with power creeps or
Yeah,
gear or artifacts, then they jump to a more difficult stage in
when
Abyss 2.
Nightmare 4 first came out, everyone struggled to get 50k. When
Yeah,
Semra came out, people didn't hit 120k off the bat. This
right.
guy has been out for 2 days, and
Two
people
days
are
right now.
getting the third chest. People are going to hit 60. It might take a month, it might take 2 months, it might take new heroes to come. But people will get there, and in a year's time, if we're still all playing this game, we're going to look back and go, Abyss one, that's a breeze. I do that on auto.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's going to be a different state of the game. But as it stands today, yeah, it feels like a wall. But we, we, we just need to understand the mechanics. We need to understand how to deal with this horrendous continuous damage which is coming in, which is going to be lots of damage
Right.
mitigation as much as possible. People who don't get debuffed are going to be really strong. And then, yeah, we just need the physical version of Anora to deal with the physical stages, and then her to deal with the magic stages, and then we might get somewhere. And then true damage for the rest of it.
And I'll give people something to think about. Unless they explicitly stated Nightmare 4 dropping a legendary soulstone might be like 0.05%. Let's just say that that's the case, right? Given how frequently they drop. But this is just a random number. This is not from anything leaked or data miner. I'm just saying. The top chest here for that might increase it to 0.006 or something, or 0.06 or 0.07. So if you want to complain to get that extra chance to get it, sure, go ahead. But I'm not going to give him a whole lot of credit saying that these chests are just going to start dropping soulstones left and right. No, it's not gonna happen. So, like I
Nobody's
said,
going to
it's
guarantee you a soulstone once a month.
no, exactly.
Although,
So I'm
Carp,
gonna
if you're
leave it
watching, if you get another soulstone this month, you're out.
out. No, I will say three in a month. Are you kidding? Two of them legendary? No, come on, man. What are you doing, you hacker? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't know. He's just lucky right now. Yeah,
Just lucky.
maybe he's just man. We see that chat and it's like again. What happened here, man? Oh, okay. Okay, I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. It's a fun puzzle. That's the way I'm treating this. It's a fun puzzle right now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some of us don't have a lot of time to devote to the puzzle, but it's going to be fun to talk to people and see how we're able to counter this.
Yeah, definitely. It's a new thing to play with, and obviously coming up to the end of the GBG season, that's going to free up a bit of headspace to think about that. So yeah, maybe when that's on, there'll be the opportunity to have a look and have a bit more of a play. For now, it's a bit of a stretch for me, and I'm settling on my
Yeah.
Nightmare 3 and 4.
Now, if over the last 3 weeks, if they dump all of this into the March update for global, people cannot complain for 2 months that there is new content because this should keep them busy enough as it is. There's a lot of stuff in Forerunner account now that I have to keep on top of it, and it's exhausting.
Why we have these weekly therapy sessions?
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. Right. All right. This was fun to go over this, but and maybe later we can actually show what we come up with our accounts.
Yeah.
Here later.
But right now you
people.
can see that, I mean, 500 blood is for a first attempt. I'm a long way off.
All right. So I should consider my first run being 5,500 a good starting point, but I really want to see if I can get 12,000 to at least collect that second chest and keep pushing on it. But yeah, it's it's a headache. It's a headache right now.
Cool. Thanks very much to everyone for tuning in. It's been fun to have this extended episode.
Okay.
And we will catch you all next time in the next episode of What's Going On.